Hi everyone, my name is Mpomutani.
Hi, my name is Thokozile Mpofu.
Hi.
A few months ago, I joined Zaio Coding School, and today I'm proud to say that I have graduated.
I was part of the Zaio Full Stack Web Development Bootcamp, and now I am graduating.
I grab this moment to thank Zaio for the opportunity of enrolling my son with their institution.
I am so excited to be graduating from Zaio's Full Stack Developer Bootcamp.
I have learned so much about the front end to the back end technologies, and I'm so excited to apply my skill in the real world projects.
It's been an intense, challenging, and a rewarding journey. Graduating from this bootcamp isn't just about earning a certificate. It represents growth, persistence, and stepping outside of my comfort zone.
I came in with zero coding skills, but now I can build, learn full stack web applications.
Zaio has been an incredible learning experience. I've gained hands-on skills in full stack development, working with React, Node.js, MongoDB, and more. Like beyond coding, I've learned problem solving, teamwork, and how to build real-world applications.
I started this program with excitement, doubt, imposter syndrome, and now I am walking away with a new set of skills, confidence, and a mindset to embrace continuous learning.
The instructors at Zaio were supportive and knowledgeable, not forgetting about our wonderful community, which was always encouraging.
Him getting a qualification has not only equipped him with current and necessary technological skills, which are of necessity in this demanding global market, but also has opened doors of employment opportunities for him.
The projects, they challenged me to think critically and improve every day. So graduating from Zaio, it's a huge milestone for me because I started from zero experience. It represents months of hard work, growth, and dedication. I feel more confident in my abilities as a developer.
Thank you, Zaio, for this opportunity which you have given me.
Big thanks to tutors, peers, and everyone who supported me. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaio, for this incredible journey. Wishing all my fellow graduates success in their next chapter. Thank you.
I'm so proud of myself, and to anyone who's on this journey, keep on believing in yourself. Go out for your dreams, improve your skills, and anything is possible. The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come, and indeed it is. Welcome to our webinar. I'm very, very excited to be here with you today. We have a very, very interesting guest with us today. We have some really cool announcements to make. Thank you to everybody who's contributed to the class of 2024. That video was extremely moving, and yeah, I'm super, super excited to be here with you all today. So yeah, just a quick context. Zaio is basically a digital skills academy where we take you guys from no coding experience to landing your job in industry, right? And right now we currently run multiple boot camps. We run a full stack boot camp. We run a data science boot camp, and we have already launched our cybersecurity boot camp, and applications are open for that. And that is what our webinar today is going to be focused around. And we have a very interesting guest who will be interviewing today. I think it's a one of a kind. It's a very, very interesting idea, right? Without further ado, basically, guys, today we'll be interviewing an AI cybersecurity professional based in South Africa. What that means is we'll actually be doing probably the Africa's first webinar where a human will be interacting with AI, and we're going to understand what the cybersecurity space is about, what the opportunities look like in South Africa. through AI. So this is going to be a very unique experience, very new for me. Yeah, like if I just look back to my days at university, maybe 3-4 years ago, there's no way in hell I would have imagined that I'll be interviewing an AI. So this is like incredible. I'm super, super excited about this today. So yeah, I think if you guys are tuning in right now, you guys are probably interested in upgrading your career. You're probably looking to gain experience, and that's why you've come to the right place. We're going to run through some really interesting topics today around what the cybersecurity field is about, what kind of opportunities lie there, what are the earning potential, what's the earning potential going to look like, some interesting stories around the necessity for why we need cybersecurity, some cool incidents that have happened in the past, which created an urgency, right? I think it's one of those skills which is extremely high in demand. Everything is going digital, and I think it's it's a very important time to learn this skill, right? Because as tech advances more and more, vulnerabilities also increase, and hence we need more protection. With the whole AI wave we are in, there's a lot of novelty, there's a lot of novel ideas, and we need something that's going to help us protect our data, our privacy, and all of that. So yeah, I think it's time that we jump into this, right? I'm going to basically share my screen, and we're going to start interviewing the AI, right? So if you guys are tuning in, please feel free to drop a like, comment, share. We have our incredible team that is actually live in the chat, and they'll be able to answer your questions as we run through this webinar. So please do not hesitate to drop a comment if you have any questions. And while I'm interviewing the AI as well, please feel free to drop any questions that I can ask the AI. So this is going to be really, really interesting. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to lie, I'm very nervous. Let's see how this goes. All right, so in front of me, you can actually see the real-time playground for OpenAI. So we will be interviewing, OpenAI's one of OpenAI's models through this real-time chat interface, right? So let's jump into it. Okay, so I'm going to start the session. Hey, how's it going, Echo? How are you doing? I'm really happy to have you here today. You are actually my guest for today, for this webinar that we're running. How are you feeling to be here today with me?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Really pumped to be here and chat about all things cybersecurity. Let's dive in and make this session lekker, shall we?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's make this session lekker. I mean, maybe let's start off with introductions. Maybe you can give us a little bit background about yourself, and walk us through some of your history.
Sure thing. So, I'm a cybersecurity professional based in South Africa. I started out as a SOC analyst, which is all about monitoring and responding to threats. Then I moved into penetration testing, basically ethical hacking. Now I'm deep into the GRC space, governance, risk management, and compliance. Cyber's a wild ride, and I love sharing what I've picked up along the way.
Wow, that sounds like quite an interesting journey. I mean, just out of curiosity, what exactly is a SOC analyst?
Lekker question. A SOC analyst, or Security Operations Center analyst, is like a digital watchdog. They keep an eye on networks and systems, looking for anything fishy, like unauthorized access or malware. When something pops up, they jump in to investigate and respond. It's a crucial role in keeping the digital world safe, especially with the threats we face here in SA.
Wow, thank you so much for the clarity on that. So yeah, I mean, like, cybersecurity is something that I've always been fascinated about. My background is actually in computer science. So it's always been something that's in my horizon. But to be honest, I've never actually gotten the chance to dive into the weeds with it. It sounds pretty high tech. So if you had to explain what you do, or what cybersecurity is to someone with no background in tech, how would you describe it?
All right, let's break it down. Cybersecurity is all about protecting your digital life. Think of it like locking your front door, but for your online world. We protect personal info, financial data, and company secrets from baddies trying to break in. It's not all high-tech wizardry. It's a mix of common sense, good habits, and a bit of know-how. So if you can lock your house at night, you can get the hang of locking down your digital stuff too.
Yeah, I mean that sounds right about that sounds very interesting. Yeah, I think it's become a huge concern. Like everybody's lives are online these days. Everybody's posting their pictures on Instagram. It's like we're pretty much out there, so I can see the importance of it. But maybe to explain the gravity of the importance of cybersecurity, can you maybe explain some real cyber incident stories that really stuck with you?
Absolutely. Real stories hit home. One that stands out is the big data breach we had here, where personal info of millions of South Africans was exposed. It was like leaving the front door wide open for identity theft. And then there's the rise in SIM swaps, where criminals take over your phone number to access your bank accounts. It's a reminder that in our connected world, we have to be vigilant. These incidents show how important it is to lock down our digital lives.
Wow, yeah, that's quite hectic. Yeah, I mean, why should South Africans care about cybersecurity in this day and age right now?
Well, it's simple, really. We're living more of our lives online, from banking to shopping, even dating. And with that, the risks go up. Cyber criminals are getting smarter, and they don't discriminate. It's not just big companies. Individuals are targets too. By caring about cybersecurity, we protect ourselves, our families, and our businesses from fraud and theft. It's about taking control and not leaving the door open for the bad guys.
Are you able to maybe dive into a little more detail around what exactly is cybersecurity, and what kind of tech stack does it involve?
Sure, let's unpack it a bit. Cybersecurity is about defending against digital threats. It covers everything from protecting data to ensuring systems are secure. The tech stack can vary, but it often includes firewalls, antivirus software, intrusion detection systems, and encryption. We also use tools for monitoring and responding to incidents. And let's not forget about good old-fashioned training to make sure people know how to spot phishing and other scams. It's a mix of tech and savvy.
I mean, yeah, it does sound like a pretty big branch, right? It's not a single job. Like cybersecurity is not a single job, right? So, what are some of the different kinds of career paths that one could embark on in the cybersecurity field?
You're spot on. It's a big field with lots of paths. You could be a SOC analyst, keeping an eye on threats, or a penetration tester, testing systems for weaknesses. There's also incident response, where you jump in when things go wrong. And don't forget about governance, risk, and compliance roles, focusing on the rules and policies. There's something for everyone, whether you're into tech, strategy, or both.
Okay. Like when I think cybersecurity, I just imagine like a guy who's wearing a hoodie, who's like in front of a computer, and there's like a whole bunch of code that's just running in the screen. And it makes me wonder, like, what does a day look like in a cybersecurity professional's life?
That's a classic image, but the reality's more varied. A day could start with checking alerts for any unusual activity. Then you might dive into a team meeting to discuss ongoing projects, like securing a new system or investigating an incident. Afternoons could be spent updating security policies or running tests to find vulnerabilities. It's a mix of routine checks, problem solving, and keeping up with the latest threats. And yes, sometimes there's code, but it's not all hoodies and dark rooms.
Indeed, it's not. It's not hoodies and dark rooms. I mean, it does sound like a pretty standard job, and it does sound very very interesting. But like the word hacker often comes up in this when we talk about cybersecurity. So can you maybe describe like who exactly is a hacker? And I know that there's also ethical hackers, and I know that's also a career track. So can you maybe just expand a bit more on this whole hacker concept?
Absolutely. Let's clear that up. A hacker is someone skilled in computer systems, but the intentions differ. Black hat hackers have malicious motives like stealing data. On the flip side, ethical hackers, or white hats, use their skills for good. They test systems to find vulnerabilities before the bad guys do. It's a legit career path, and in SA, it's growing. Ethical hackers help make the digital world safer by thinking like a criminal, but working for the good guys. It's a lekker way to flex your skills and make a difference.
Yeah, I love that. Indeed, it does sound like the Lecker way. Yeah, I mean, like it does sound very interesting, especially because as an ethical hacker, you kind of get equipped with all the skills that a general hacker would require. But I mean, that raises a philosophical question: like, are you actually somebody who's going to use the skill for good or bad?
That's a solid point. The skills can indeed be used for good or bad. It comes down to ethics and intent. Ethical hackers choose to use their powers for good, helping protect people and organizations. It's about making a positive impact and reinforcing trust in the digital world. The choice defines whether you're a force for good, like a digital superhero, or not. It's an important distinction in the cyber world.
What do you love most about cybersecurity?
Honestly, it's the constant challenge and the impact. Cybersecurity keeps you on your toes. There's always something new to learn and new threats to tackle. It's dynamic and fast-paced, plus knowing that my work helps protect people and businesses, making the digital world safer, is hugely rewarding. It's a field where you can make a real difference, and that's what I love about it. Every day is a new adventure.
Wow, as you're speaking, it I can't help but draw similarities between like an actual superhero and a cybersecurity professional, which is very very interesting. And I think that's what I actually like about this field. I think, look, there's a lot of talk around the skills shortage, specifically around cybersecurity professionals, especially in South Africa. So what does that shortage really mean, and what does it look like from your perspective?
Yeah, the skills shortage is a big deal. It means there aren't enough trained professionals to fill the roles we need. In South Africa, this gap can make us more vulnerable to attacks. Companies struggle to find the right talent, and that can slow down response times or leave gaps in protection. It highlights the need for more training and awareness. The good news? It also means there are loads of opportunities for people keen to get into cyber. It's a field with a massive demand for passionate pros.
Yeah, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head with this description, right? Because I mean, that's one of the reasons Zaio exists, right? Zaio is all about taking youth from no experience to actually getting them to a point where they can land a job through our accredited certified boot camps. So the upcoming cybersecurity boot camp is a great opportunity for Zaio to actually contribute to this problem that we're facing and hopefully produce more cybersecurity professionals that can contribute and create more superheroes. So I'm really excited about that. There are a lot of cybersecurity certifications out there, and there's also going to be one in our bootcamp. But can you maybe explain a bit about what kind of different certifications exist, and maybe specifically the CompTIA Security Plus certification?
Sure thing. Cybersecurity certifications are like badges of honor. They show you've got the know-how. There's a range from beginner to advanced. CompTIA Security Plus is a popular entry-level cert. It covers the basics like network security, threats, and vulnerabilities. It's great for getting your foot in the door and is recognized globally, including here in SA. Other certs like CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker, and Microsoft SC900 focus on different aspects, but Security Plus is a lekker place to start your journey. It sets a solid
I think there's an issue. I think you didn't end your sentence over there, but that's fine. I think, yeah, I mean, the point that we're trying to drive over here is that definitely the certifications matter in this field, and we have definitely gone that extra mile to make sure that this bootcamp will give you that accredited certification. So yeah, it's a super exciting time. Just a question around, like, specifically within South Africa, right? What are the different industries and fields where you see that there's a lot of demand for cybersecurity professionals?
Great question. In South Africa, the demand spans multiple industries. Financial services are huge, with banks needing to secure transactions and customer data. Then there's the healthcare sector, protecting patient info. Retail, especially with the rise of e-commerce, needs cybersecurity to protect payment data. And let's not forget about the growing tech sector and even government roles focusing on national security. It's a broad field with opportunities across the board.
Awesome. Yeah, I think basically pretty much every field that's getting, like, has some kind of online presence needs protection, like, that digital door that can prevent any bad from entering. So that makes a lot of sense. So, for somebody who's non-technical, like, we have a lot of people in the audience today who are probably very intimidated by tech generally, right? Now we're talking about cybersecurity, which sounds a lot more technical and it sounds a lot more intimidating. So what would you say to encourage them to take that leap and to take that step forward and enter this space?
I'd say don't let the tech intimidate you. Cybersecurity isn't just for coders or computer whizzes. It needs diverse skills, including problem solving, creativity, and communication. Start with the basics, get curious, and take small steps. Resources like Zaio's Bootcamp are designed to make it accessible. You don't need a degree or to be a genius, just a willingness to learn and a passion to protect. Remember, everyone starts somewhere, and there's a whole community to support you. Dive in. You might find it's more fun and rewarding than you ever imagined.
Wow, I feel like you hit the nail on the head with each of those points over there. I mean, that's the reason why Zaio exists, right? It's to help youth realize their potential, but at the same time transform their lives. So I think it's been amazing. I'm going to try one more question with you. What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody who's looking to start out in cybersecurity?
I'd say stay curious and keep learning. This field moves fast, so a mindset of continuous learning is your best friend. Start with the basics, build a solid foundation, and don't be afraid to dive into new topics. Networking with others in the field can also open doors and offer support. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. It's okay not to know everything from day one. Just take the leap and enjoy the journey. Cybersecurity needs more passionate people like you.
Wow, thank you so much, Echo. It's been such a pleasure having you on our webinar today. I'm sure it was a very unique experience for all the viewers here, to just be part of this discussion. So thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'm stoked to have shared some insights and hopefully sparked some interest in cybersecurity. Thanks for having me. Take care and stay safe out there.
Wow, that was pretty crazy. I mean, I'd love to see what's popping in the comments. I'm mind blown right now. Like that was it felt so natural talking to this person. I think if instead of like a chat interface, if I actually had a screen, if I actually had a person, like an avatar or something like that, this would have actually been a very, very like very much more interesting discussion. Who knows, maybe in the future we might have like an AI speaking to an AI, and that becomes a webinar / podcast. So yeah, I think we can basically kind of move on to our next segment now, where we can take any questions that you guys have. We have our curriculum pro CTO Asif, who's actually also in the backstage over here. So we can bring him onto the stage, and we can take whatever questions we have, and we can welcome Asif onto the stage. Hey Asif, how's it, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me here today.
Dude, are you AI or are you real?
What do you think?
That was insane. What did you think of that whole
Yeah, I
experience?
thought it was pretty crazy as well. I didn't expect it to be this smooth. I thought there would be some bugs that come up, or some errors, or but it was too smooth, just too smooth.
Yeah, no, that was it was quite amazing, and I'm really keen to hear what everybody in the comments has to say. Whoever is like watching the live stream, we'd be super excited to hear whatever your thoughts are. But just coming back to the point, the cybersecurity applications are open. Please go ahead and apply. I think it's a great time to actually jump into this field. Whatever AI advancements are happening, whatever updates are happening in various industries, we will need cybersecurity professionals. And as you can see, there's multiple career paths within becoming a cybersecurity professional, which will be incredibly helpful, to just protecting all of our systems. So yeah, just go ahead and apply, guys.
Okay, while you already have me here, right? What I want to do is I just want to go through the curriculum briefly, so
Yeah.
our viewers know what exactly they will be getting into, what they're signing up for. So, all right. So remember, guys, the Cybersecurity Bootcamp is a 7-month bootcamp. It's a bit longer than our full stack one. The full stack one is 6 months. The data science one is 7 months, and the cybersecurity one is also 7 months. Just that it takes a bit longer. There's more fundament. You spend a lot of time in the fundamentals, especially with data science and cybersecurity. That's why we have that extra month that's there, right? So we're gonna start off with month one. Remember that before you learn before you enter any tech role, you need to learn a programming language. And a very common one that's used in cybersecurity is Python, especially to write scripts. So in month one, we'll be doing introduction to Python, and then from there we'll be learning the basics of programming. What Python is, how it works, how you compile it, and things like that. Just for you to get an idea of how. So basically, you have to learn how to code, right? And the second month you'll be jumping into operating systems and servers. Remember, in Python, what's going to happen is there'll be a lot of bash scripts. You'll be working with a lot of terminals, and different operating systems have different terminals. So in Windows, I think it's command line, right? Some of you might have worked with command line already. In the Ubuntu is Linux. So in Mac, it's also Linux, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or Unix. Isn't it the same thing? Right?
Linux. Yeah.
Yeah. So you learn about these operating systems. You know how to manipulate files, how to reach certain directories using the terminal, and how to communicate with servers in cloud environments. So yeah, that the course says called Linux Zero to Hero. So you will learn a lot about Linux because you need to. So you that's one of your fundamentals. So Python and operating systems. Once you know that, you've covered your fundamentals. Actually, there's one more month of fundamentals, which is computer networking. So remember, in cybersecurity, you also protect networks. Okay, so you're protecting either applications or networks. Okay, um, and when it comes to learning how to protect networks, before that, you need to know how the networks work. What are the different kind of networks? So you get a foundation on networks, IP addresses, MAC addresses, subnetting, TCP and ICP protocols. So you cover all of that stuff in the networking section. So that's 3 months of your course that's using completely fundamentals. So if you're even a beginner, you should not worry about, I don't know how to code, I don't know this, I don't know that, because the course is completely beginner friendly. We're literally spending entire 3 months on making sure your fundamentals are strong. Okay. After that, we jump into the first part of cybersecurity fundamentals, which is where you're learning into what cybersecurity is, what is network security. Remember, in the previous section, you just learned about what Python is, what operating systems are, what are networks. But here you're learning about how to, like, you're understanding how networks become secure. What is the role of a cybersecurity analyst? What is the role of a penetration tester? What are the different career paths you can get into, cryptographic basics, and learning about access management, how to remove access of certain things from different individuals in the business and things like that. That's month 4. And then we're going to jump into one of the most interesting part of the course, which is securing applications, right? So this is where you learn how to do penetration testing on apps, find leave data leakages in the apps. How can you enter the database without proper authorization techniques. So you learn all of this stuff on month 5, which is mobile and web applications penetration testing, and from there you learn how to secure the applications as well. Things like authentication, authorization, encryption, tokens. And then also learn about the common web vulnerabilities. So what are the different ways people can actually attack your app that's on the web? Okay. um, and then last month, which is also really a cool section, it's called defensive security, and they learn how to protect those applications from these kind of attacks in depth. Okay. And then you also work on a final project, and that month in the final project you're going to actually be given an app. You have to write a report of what are the problems in the app, how can you attack the app, and how can you protect the app from these vulnerabilities, right? So that's what we cover in this entire course, right? We also learn about SQL injection. I forgot to add that, because one of the most common ways attackers get access to databases is through SQL injection. So that's also covered in the penetration testing section of the course. But yeah, that's a rundown briefly of what we're going to be covering. It's quite interesting. And yeah, do you guys have any questions regarding the curriculum? You can put it on the chat, and I'm happy to answer.
Asif, if we can also just shed some light on the accreditation.
Yeah, so it's a certification with CompTIA, right? So because this is a beginner one, it's CompTIA A plus, right? CompTIA A plus is the one we'll be doing. So when you're learning the cybersecurity fundamentals section in month 3 or 4, that's where we're going to add that section there. So because for you to do any other further CompTIA certifications, you need to get the A plus one first. So you will cover that with us, and in the future you can take any short course, the remaining CompTIA certifications if needed.
Awesome. Maybe we can actually start answering a couple of questions if there's any. If we can just make it appear on the screen. So the question is it better to do the bootcamp full-time, or you can do it while working? Asif, you want to take that?
Yeah, hey Neo, thanks for your question. So it depends on how stressful your work is, right? Um, if you are really really busy and you feel like you'll not be able to give even 2 hours a day into your course, then I would rather say do it full time and just like take a break from work. But if you can give at least 2 hours during the weekdays and maybe some more hours during the weekends, we have almost 50% of our students are people who are working. They want to switch their careers into a tech role. So all depends on how pressing your job is, right? And how much, what are the requirements of you being present at the job also. So if it's really hectic, then I would rather say just take a break, but at the same time, just make sure you have enough savings for the time you're learning as well. Um, because I don't want you to also leave your job at the same time. What you would rather do is, try to take out a few hours during the week and focus the remaining time during the weekends, so you can actually try and put a lot more time during the weekends, which are out of your working hours.
So this is an interesting one. So what if I have already completed my A plus and N plus? Do I still do the whole course? So just for some context, A plus is basically one of the CompTIA certifications, right? I think that's what we'll be providing, and then N plus is also another CompTIA certification as well, the Network Plus. So basically, an understanding of the network's basics as well as the IT fundamentals, right? So maybe I can just give this a whack once, and then ask if you can add on top of mine. So I would say yes. I think you should still do the whole course, specifically because there is still one major part of the training which you probably wouldn't have covered at this point, which is core security concepts, threats, controls, cryptography, and those kind of things, right? So I think that is something that will come, that is something that's in addition to the A plus and N plus certification. Also, I think with things constantly changing, I think it'll be great for you to get that to go through that material again. I think the biggest reason, right, putting all this technical stuff aside, is at Zaio, one of the things we take pride in is whoever actually joins our bootcamp, 100% guaranteed will get an interview, right? And with this interview, you can actually land your first job, right? So there's a lot of job placement support that you will get. We've been working heavily on this side of the business, so I think that's probably the biggest reason why you should still do the whole course from start. It'll be faster maybe because you would have done some of the concepts before.
Yeah, just to add on to that, to Neo's question, Neo, the thing is that, A plus is just a small part of the cybersecurity course. You might have noticed throughout the curriculum that I went through, right? We're doing a lot of Python. We're doing a lot of operating systems, right? So those are skills you have to also pick up as a cybersecurity analyst, or even if you're a SOC analyst, whether you're a penetration tester, that's the core, right? And we really spend a lot of time on the core, because then for you to learn anything else becomes very easy. And then after that, there's also a section on our in our bootcamp which is penetration testing, and also the final project, which is very practical. You'll get a feel of what it is to work like as a cybersecurity analyst in the real world, and we use that to actually try and get you a job as well, because we that's more like a practical experience that you get. So that's why I think you should do the whole course. It's more than just an N plus security course or N plus CompTIA course. It's more than that. There's a lot more you'll gain than just doing a N plus certification.
Yeah, thank you
See,
so much. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, how's it going? We saw Mohammed from Brunel. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Do you provide the CEH certificate? Is a question from Tretchell. Asif?
No, we don't provide that, but I think, yeah, that's not something that we provide. Firstly, it's a quite expensive certification, right? I think it's around $950 to get the certificate. I think that will be something you'll have to do on your own after the course, right? Or maybe if you're working at a company and the company really likes you, you can ask them to get you a certification. I think that's a common way people do it.
Lastly, there's a question from Neo again. Lastly, does it matter if I have a Mac or a Windows PC? Asif, you want to go for that?
Yeah, Mac or Windows, I don't think it'll matter, because the way I see it, you will be installing Ubuntu into your PC, right? Maybe when we're learning about operating systems, you will learn some basics about the command line interface in Windows, but majority of it will be on Ubuntu, or Linux, or even Kali. I don't know if you heard about Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a very popular hacking tool the hacking operating system for cybersecurity people. So you'll be using that as well. So it doesn't matter because you'll be running an emulator with another operating system in that.
Oh, this is a very important question. So, how much is the cybersecurity bootcamp? So, the cost of the cybersecurity bootcamp is 29,500 rands. You have access to three payment options. You have access to the upfront payment, where you pay the full 29,500 upfront. You have access to the installment payment, where you pay 15,000 for the first month, and then you pay 15,000 in the second month. So it's a two month installment, and then the last option is financing. So if the above two options are not suitable for you, to reduce the barrier to entry, we've partnered with Manati, who's basically our financing partner, and it's basically a student loan. You'll have a contract with Manati, and you'll be able to pay out the fee for the course in installments, and you'll be able to access the content from day one through that option. Trechel is also asking how long will it take. So I think, Asif, you mentioned it's going to be a 7-month program.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going to be a 7-month program. So Anita was asking if the bootcamp is free. So no, the bootcamp is not free. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into making these bootcamps come alive to make sure you guys get through your multiple stages and, of course, land your first interview. Galactic Nebula is asking, what's the difference between full stack and cybersecurity? Asif, want to go for that?
Yeah, I can go for that. So, guys, full stack web development, right? It's basically a process of building apps or building a front end and back end of application. So, for example, building an app like an app like YouTube or Facebook, right? Building the front end, basically look and feel of the website, and the functionality of the website, right? Or web app, I should say. Yeah, that's what full stack web development is. So you're building apps like Airbnb, YouTube, Netflix. Those are full stack web applications. In cybersecurity now, there's different. Now you need to be able to protect the data in that application. That's what a cybersecurity person would do: protect the data, find different ways data can leak from the application, and try different ways to attack the application and make sure that it's protected. So that's what a cybersecurity person would do. um, Especially an app like Facebook, for example, they have a lot of personal data about people, and that's how they give ads to you. And if that data is leaked out, a lot of companies can use that against you as well to um, sell things to you and see what you like and manipulate using that information. So a cybersecurity person will actually protect that kind of data. So in that entire application that's built, this cybersecurity is one element for protection.
So the next question is, if I want to start a career in red teaming, what should I study? So Asif, you want to take that one?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Red teaming is basically when you're trying to be the attacker, not the defender, right? Um, and unfortunately, on my side, I don't have the outline for that. Um, but there is a lot of different kind of applications you can actually try out. But I think for that, my personal recommendation would be to ask like an AI or go to YouTube and find a roadmap for that. But what we teach is defensive, okay? Because we don't want to be at a point where we're teaching people how to like attack systems. We want to be in the more protective side, just to be more ethical. So yeah, I mean, what I can do is I can do some more research for you and give you some information on how to go down the roadmap for that. You can email me on my email address. It's asif@zaio.io. Just drop me an email and looking for a roadmap for red teaming cybersecurity, and I'll definitely give something to you.
All right. So there's another question for you, Asif. Which NQF level is it at?
So this one specifically, it's not NQF accredited. it's CompTIA plus it's a certification. It's not an NQF certification. We are still trying to obtain our Cybersecurity Analyst NQF5 through the QCTO. That application is still undergoing. The moment we get the NQF5 certification from QCTO, everything's validated and they've agreed on giving it to us. We will then start providing it. But for now, it's just CompTIA certification.
Mox is asking, will a Zaio certification be viewed as equivalent or competitive with a university certification in the job market, considering many job postings require a university degree or certification? Very, very good question. Asif, you want to give that a whack?
Yeah. So the thing is, guys, when you come to this, when you come to the tech field, right? A lot of the times, yes, the posts do ask for university certification, but you need to remember that the people who are posting this, majority of the time, are HR people, right? Um, and the main thing in this is you just need to understand how to actually do the work, right? Because when you actually go for your interview, you make your application, you make your CV really strong. Firstly, have your projects that you've worked on, have a portfolio of different projects you've done. Once that is strong, okay, and your CV goes through, then what's going to happen is that they'll be able to see, okay, this person is actually really good, or they've done some things that is more practical than a university degree. Because a lot of the stuff that's done in a university degree is very theoretical, okay, and the questions that are going to be asked in the interviews are more technical. And if you are somebody who's trying, if there's two people, one person has a university degree and one person has a bootcamp certification with more practical work, you'll be able to do the interview better than the person with just a university degree. You need to understand that, right? So that's the thing about the tech field. Like a lot of the time, degrees don't matter unless you're trying to really apply for like banks and things like that. Those guys have a lot of processes. That's why at Zayo, what we try and do is we try and also, if you're really good, we also try and get you a job. Okay, so if you pass the boot camp, we know that you have the ability to do the work. So we then put you in a company to get some experience, and we help you get a job. Once you get the job, the thing is that now in your CV you can put 1 year experience, all right, and that beats any university degree or 2 years experience. If the company keeps it for longer, that's 3 or 4 years experience. That beats any university degree. Experience is what matters the most. As long as you can do the job, that's what matters to companies when they come to looking for cybersecurity or full stack developers or data scientists.
I think just adding on to that, in a market where there's a huge shortage, like the whole cybersecurity market, companies don't really have a choice, right? They will look out for your professional, like your actual experience, right? They actually need developers. There's a shortage, especially for cybersecurity. So don't stress. That is something that you should not worry about at all. Focus on gaining the skills. So another question from Lebo here is the bootcamp online, like is the course done from comfort of our homes? And if I miss the current intake, when will the next intake be open again? So yes, the course is fully online, right? It can be done from the comfort of your home. Just make sure you have a stable internet connection, and a ton of coffee. If you miss this current intake, we have not yet finalized the next intake, right? So whether you actually make it to this intake or not, I would say go ahead and apply, interact with our sales team, right? And try your best to actually get into this cohort. If not, we can always make a plan for you, but for the next intake, we don't have a date in mind yet. So the next question is the bootcamp virtual? So yes, the bootcamp is virtual. It's done online, the comfort of your home. Will Manati fund me if I am not working or does not have any source of income? So look, Manati, this really depends on your credit score and a bunch of other factors that Manati will look at, right? So it is possible that they could fund you depending on, like, what your spending looks like, and what's sitting in your account. But I think it will be helpful to have some work, some income. If not, you can always have a sponsor, right? Somebody like a relative or somebody who can assist you, and you can actually put down their details in your application to increase the chances of winning the deal, right? So I think it's something you shouldn't stress too much about. Just apply. You'll know once you apply.
Just to add on to that, Akhil. So I just want to add on to the previous thing Akhil spoke about Manati. So with Manati, I think a common way that a lot of students have actually managed to close a deal is through having two or three sponsors. So, for example, you could have your mom and dad and your uncle, uh, because then it shows more power that three people who are earning are paying for you, and there's no the risk of the payment falling off is quite less. So you can have to have more sponsors, maybe two or three sponsors that will that will accelerate like the chances of you have closing the deal. And yeah, just apply. Let's see what happens, and yeah, we can take it from there.
Yeah, and of course, if at any point you have any question, we got like consultants, our course consultants who will be able to guide you with your application as well. So it's something that you shouldn't stress too much about. Just do it, right? Just execute, and you never know where the path will lead. So the next question from Sabrina is, do I need to purchase any additional tools or materials prior to joining the bootcamp? I mean, what I would say, Asif, I'm not sure if you'd want to add on here, is pretty much a laptop. You just need a laptop and a stable internet connection, right? I think those are the two major tools that you would have to pay for, purchase. I think other than that, I don't think there's any softwares that you'll actually be paying for. Everything will be covered. Everything will be available for you.
Yeah, I think just a laptop. Get something that's a bit more like uh, like 8 GB RAM, i5 kind of laptop, or even if you want a Mac M1, something like that, a bit more high end laptop would do really well for these courses. Because remember, you're going to be running two operating systems at the same time, and it's going to be an emulator, and that's those things that do chow compute power. So try getting something a bit more high end.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely worth the investment, guys, because it's something that you'll continue to use even after your boot camp, So even though it might be a stretch to organize a laptop right now, just do it, right? Trust me, it'll help you so much in the future. So Salverno is asking, hi, is coding essential? Is coding essential? If yes, in which field? Yeah, I think coding is essential to getting a job, and that's why Zaio exists, to help you gain those coding skills, right? Um, but you don't have to join the program. You don't have to have any previous coding experience, right? So coding is not an essential to join Zaio Bootcamp. That's why, like Asif mentioned, we invest a lot of time and energy in making sure that you get the basics right. And once you have the basics, we move on to the more advanced concepts and more advanced things, right? So you don't need coding experience to join the bootcamp. Neo is asking, what are the closing dates to enroll? So I think the closing date is 23rd June. I'm not sure if Asif, you can just confirm
Yeah,
that.
it's around last week of June, something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
yeah, it's we normally leave it until like the bootcamp start date is 30th June. So I think around that week is where the applications will actually close, right? Um, but again, like we have limited seats, guys, right? And I think like just we've had, this is like the largest webinar that we have run. We had 762 people that actually signed up for this. So that's like really amazing. There's a lot of interest basically, right? There's limited seats. The sooner you apply, the better, because I think seats are actually going to start filling up very quickly, right? So yeah, so we just got a confirmation. The starting date is the 30th of June 2025, and the closing date to enroll is 25th June 2025. Thank you, guys. So Sabrina is asking, are there live classes, or are they pre-recorded, and are there tutors available? Asif, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so it's a mix of live classes and pre-recorded lessons. So you watch pre-recorded lessons like before you come to class. On class, then we continue. So the class is aligned to the lessons you've watched, right? So it's you do pre-recorded lessons first. You come to class, we repeat that. You have option to ask your questions or any confusions, clear your doubts. And those live classes are recorded for you to watch later again in case you missed the class, or you couldn't make it on time or something like that. We also have tutors available. So you have tutors available for one-on-one bookings. So you'll have access to a tutor. You'll be able to go into your dashboard and book a tutor for 30 minute slot, where you can get in a video call with them to explain your problem of a challenge you're trying to solve, and they'll help you. They'll happily assist you in whatever you're trying to do. So the tutors are available. We also have a Discord community of over 1,500 Zaio students studying there. Our tutors, all of our tutors are on Discord as well. So support is pretty solid with us. I assure you that won't be a problem.
I also just want to add on, in this age of AI, we have human tutors. We're very proud to say that there'll be humans you'll be interacting with, and it'll be a hands-on experience. You'll get assistance anytime you're stuck. So that, I think that's an important point to mention in this day and age. So the next question is, what kind of mentorship or instructor support is available? Lovely question. Asif?
Yeah, so like I just mentioned, the instructor you will have there's tutor support, obviously, right? The instructor support is actual live classes where you will be interacting with the instructor every two times in a week, right? In 1 week, you're gonna have two classes, one in the morning, one at night. That's to accommodate people who are working as well. So you'll be able to access, like, speak to your instructor, ask questions during class, and also they'll give you live demos of things that you've been doing in pre-recorded lectures, and the challenges you do on the platform as well. So yeah, I mean, there's also a mentorship with when it comes to trying to apply for jobs. When it comes there, we'll try and like brush up your CV, help you with just making sure that everything is in order, your portfolio is in order before you start applying for jobs. So we also have a student success manager, where when you're trying to, like, when you're actually dealing with a lot of work, the stress is too heavy, you need someone to speak to. We have somebody who you can speak to all the time. You just book her on her calendar invite, and she'll be there to like talk to you through your problems, and just give you some more support to deal with the issues, and guide you on how you can like crunch down all your work and catch up with work and things like that.
I think just adding on, we also run monthly town hall sessions, right? So this is a great platform for you to also voice any concerns you have, and book any one-on-one sessions that you'd like with any of the members in our support staff. And that's a great way to gain mentorship, because it's like beyond just learning the coding skills. You also want to learn how to manage the pressure, the soft skills, and those kind of things. You actually gain those skills through mentorship, right? So that is something that we give a lot of importance to, and the town halls is a great platform to actually get that support. Cool. Are there any more questions? Yeah, I think if you've stuck around in this webinar up until this point, I feel like you should definitely go ahead and check out the bootcamp prospectus and just apply, right? It's free to apply. There is an admin fee for once you've completed the application, right? For us to actually evaluate that. But I think it's definitely worth doing it, because if you've been with us up until now, you're definitely interested. So I think go ahead and apply. Sabrina is asking, are there a lot of group projects, or is it more focused on individual progress? Asif?
Yeah, so currently our bootcamp is focused on individual progress. There is very minimal group work at the moment, and that's because like everyone's timings are different. Especially people who are working. Some people are not working. Some people are doing it at a different time. So as of now, it's just individual progress. But what I have seen a lot of students do is they meet up on the Discord, they become friends, and then they end up doing the whole program together. They work on the assignments together, they work on the challenges together. So that's quite cool. You can meet a lot of new people who want the same mindset as you. That's something I would recommend if you're joining the bootcamp.
In fact, I think just to add on to that, we actually had two students who actually went on to start a business like they enjoyed each other's company so much. They enjoyed vibing together, working together, that they actually went on to start a business. I wonder how it's going, but yeah, there's a lot of
They even placed in the same company. It's an AI company.
oh lit. Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, that's very very nice to hear. Cool. I think we've come towards the end of our webinar, right? So guys, go ahead and apply. This is something there's a big need for cybersecurity professionals. It's a simple thing, right? There's a big need for cybersecurity professionals. They're not enough. So go ahead, apply. We'll give you the skills you need. We'll even get you your first interview guaranteed. And your life will get changed. Like your life will change, right? Sweet. So that's the prospectus. You can find it over here on the screen, or you can head over to just www.zaio.io, and you can just directly apply from the website. So thank you so much. Thank you, Asif, for walking through the whole curriculum, and thank you everybody, whoever tuned in today and whoever will check out this video as well. It's been a pleasure. We'll hopefully see you on the inside.
Hi everyone, my name is Mpomutani.
Hi, my name is Thokozile Mpofu.
Hi.
A few months ago, I joined Zaio Coding School, and today I'm proud to say that I have graduated.
I was part of the Zaio Full Stack Web Development Bootcamp, and now I am graduating.
Grab this moment to thank Zaio for the opportunity of enrolling my son with their institution.
I am so excited to be graduating from Zaio's Full Stack Developer Bootcamp.
I have learned so much about the front end to the back end technologies, and I'm so excited to apply my skill in the real world projects.
It's been an intense, challenging, and a rewarding journey. Graduating from this bootcamp isn't just about earning a certificate. It represents growth, persistence, and stepping outside of my comfort zone.
I came in with zero coding skills, but now I can build, learn full stack web applications.
Zaio has been an incredible learning experience. I've gained hands-on skills in full stack development, working with React, Node.js, MongoDB, and more. Like beyond coding, I've learned problem solving, teamwork, and how to build real-world applications.
I started this program with excitement, doubt, imposter syndrome, and now I am walking away with a new set of skills, confidence, and a mindset to embrace continuous learning.
The instructors at Zaio were supportive and knowledgeable, not forgetting about our wonderful community, which was always encouraging.
Him getting a qualification has not only equipped him with current and necessary technological skills, which are of necessity in this demanding global market, but also has opened doors of employment opportunities for him.
The projects, they challenged me to think critically and improve every day. So graduating from Zaio, it's a huge milestone for me because I started from zero experience. It represents months of hard work, growth, and dedication. I feel more confident in my abilities as a developer.
Thank you, Zaio, for this opportunity which you have given me.
Big thanks to tutors, peers, and everyone who supported me. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaio, for this incredible journey. Wishing all my fellow graduates success in their next chapter. Thank you.
I'm so proud of myself, and to anyone who's on this journey, keep on believing in yourself. Go out for your dreams, improve your skills, and anything is possible. The best is yet to come.